In the Holy Bible, in the book of Genesis, chapter 18, we come across a dramatic story of two cities known for their extreme sinfulness and the wrath of God, and also with the relationship between the human and the divine in an unimaginable way. Today's story shows us the two sides of human life, what God's relationship is like with those who obey Him and also with those who reject His precepts. We are in the lands of Mamre, where Abraham resides. The hot desert sands will witness a divine encounter that transcends human understanding. Abraham, a man of extraordinary faith, receives a visit that would change the course of his life and biblical history. On an ordinary day, Abraham is surprised by three men who appear at the entrance to his tent. What he doesn't know is that this ordinary visit is, in fact, a divine manifestation. Then the Lord appeared to him in the oak groves of Mamre as he sat at the door of the tent in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, three men standing by him. And seeing them, he ran from the door of the tent to meet them and bowed himself to the ground. Genesis 18 verses 1 and 2. Imagine Abraham's perplexity when he realized that he was faced with something extraordinary. He, however, did not hesitate to show hospitality, a central value in the culture of the time. Abraham not only recognizes the uniqueness of the visitors, but also expresses his hospitality in a remarkable way. He invites the three men into his tent, offering them shade and rest. Abraham is not content with just standard reception. He wants to offer something special to his visitors. Abraham's hospitality is a reflection of his generosity and respect for strangers. As they share the meal, something extraordinary happens. The three men reveal themselves as bearers of a divine message. Abraham stands before God in disguise. God confirms the promise of a son to Abraham and Sarah, bringing an exciting twist to the story. Joy and surprise mix on the faces of Abraham and Sarah. I will certainly return to you in this time of life, and behold, Sarah your wife will have a son. Genesis 18 verse 10. Thus, in this sacred moment, the promise of offspring is sealed. Abraham and Sarah, initially visited by three strangers, now know they are destined to be parents, and God has given them a specific deadline. With this divine promise, the trajectory of Abraham and Sarah is launched on a path full of challenges and revelations. As Abraham absorbs the enormity of the divine promise, our attention turns to Sarah, a wise and experienced woman whose skepticism will play a crucial role in this journey. Unbelief is often a faithful companion when we encounter divine promises. Sarah, despite her wisdom, is no exception. Abraham, full of hope, shares the exciting news with Sarah, but instead of immediate jubilation, we find a different reaction. So Sarah laughed with herself, saying, "Shall I still have pleasure after I have grown old, even though my Lord is old?" Genesis 18 verse 12. Skepticism settles in Sarah's heart, and laughter escapes her lips. The idea of conceiving a child at this advanced age seems so unlikely that laughter is almost an instinctive response. However, God, who searches hearts, does not let Sarah's reaction go unnoticed. He questions her, not in a reproachful tone, but with divine understanding. The question rings out in the desert, "Why did you laugh, Sarah?" Had she doubted the divine power, or was she simply surprised by the magnitude of the promise? God, in His infinite mercy, reaffirms the promise to Sarah. He not only understands her reaction, but also reveals that she will return next year, making the promise more tangible and defined. Sarah's skeptical laugh does not take away from the divine promise. Rather, it serves as a point of transformation, where doubt is confronted by the certainty of the divine plan. At this moment, we are witnesses of a profound dialogue between skeptical humanity and persevering divinity. Sarah, despite her initial laughs, is reminded that with God, nothing is impossible. Abraham and Sarah now find themselves equipped with a renewed promise to continue life's journey. The encounter with a great promise with eternal impact contrasts with what was about to happen. And those men rose up from there and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham went with them, accompanying them. Genesis 18 verse 16. The fate of the sinful cities of Sodom and Gomorrah hangs in the air as God shares with Abraham the plans that will transform these cities into epicenters of divine judgment. And the Lord said, "I will hide from Abraham what I do." Since Abraham will certainly become a great and mighty nation, and in him all the nations of the earth will be blessed. Genesis 18 verses 17 and 18. Prepare to witness the dilemma that defies human understanding and unleashes unparalleled boldness on the part of Abraham. In a moment of revelation, God entrusts to Abraham the gravity of the sins and evil that permeate Sodom and Gomorrah. Divine judgment is about to unleash. Sodom and Gomorrah, once prosperous, now face divine wrath. Abraham, the chosen one, hears the sentence, and the weight of the decision echoes off the ancient walls of sinful cities. In a bold act that will resonate through the centuries, Abraham, a man of unshakable faith, dares to defy God. He does not passively accept the divine sentence, but dares to question justice and total destruction. This courage is not just audacity, but a deep search for divine justice. Abraham, driven by his faith, calls the divine purpose into question, questioning indiscriminate annihilation. In this epic moment, we are witness to an unprecedented celestial negotiation. Abraham boldly enters into a frank conversation with God, proposing a question that transcends the heavens. He dares to suggest to God the preservation of cities if a specific number of righteous people are found. The negotiation between man and the divine unfolds, echoing Abraham's desire for divine mercy. Thus, our biblical hero, Abraham, puts his faith to the test by daring to confront God himself in a desperate attempt to save the cities, a negotiation that will define the fate of Sodom and Gomorrah. And Abraham came near, saying, "Wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? If there be 50 righteous people in the city, will you also destroy it, and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous people who are within it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked. May the righteous be like the wicked, far from you. Would not the judge of all the earth do justice?" Then said the Lord, "If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, I will spare the whole place for their sakes." Genesis 18 verses 23 to 26. Abraham's faith and boldness took him as far as he could in this dialogue with God and in his argument to the point where he said, "Now, let not the Lord be angry, for I speak only this time, if 10 are found there." And he said, "I will not destroy it for the sake of the 10. Genesis 18 verse 32. We now enter the dark streets of Sodom, where wickedness and corruption will test the faith of Lot, Abraham's faithful nephew. A city where morality has been lost and hospitality is replaced by unfathomable darkness. Lot, in the midst of this moral decay, faces extraordinary challenges while hosting divine visitors. And the two angels came to Sodom in the evening, and Lot sat at the gate of Sodom. And when Lot saw them, he rose up to meet them, and bowed himself with his face to the earth. And he said, "Behold now, my lords, go in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night there, and wash your feet, and early in the morning you will rise and go your way." And they said, "No, first we will spend the night on the street." And he fought with them greatly, and they came with him, and entered his house. And he made them a feast, and baked cakes without yeast, and they ate. Genesis 19 verses 1 to 3. Lot, Abraham's nephew, reveals himself as a man of hospitality, even in the midst of the perversity of Sodom. He offers shelter to visitors in disguise, unaware that they are heavenly messengers. In a courageous act, Lot defies the city's norms by welcoming these foreigners, having no idea of the devastating consequences this decision will bring. However, the city reveals its true face when news of the visitors' presence spread. The people of Sodom not only disrespect hospitality, but also distort the basic principles of morality. Disrespect for the sanctity of life and outsiders reaches unimaginable proportions, defying any conventional understanding of morality. And before they lay down, the men of that city, the men of Sodom, from young to old, surrounded the house, all the people from all the neighborhood. And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, "Where are the men that came unto thee this night? Bring them out to us, so that we may know them." Genesis 19 verses 4 and 5. Faced with the angry mob, Lot, desperate to protect his divine guests, makes an extreme sacrifice. He offers his own daughters in an attempt to appease the malevolent thirst of those who seek out the visitor. It is a moment of despair, where morality is twisted and Lot's loyalty is tested to the limit. However, even this sacrifice is not enough to calm the mob's fury. Lot, amid the disorder and wickedness of Sodom, attempts to protect his divine guests with a harrowing sacrifice. A city that has completely lost respect for morality and sacred hospitality. As the fate of Sodom and Gomorrah unfolds, we are taken to the climax of this epic narrative. The divine angels, witnesses of chaos, prepare to flee as divine wrath hovers over the sinful cities. Divine intervention and Lot's choices lead to the dramatic outcome of this ancient story. As the angry mob advances, divine angels act to protect Lot and his family. In an act of mercy, they blind their attackers, allowing a window of opportunity for escape. But those men stretched out their hands and brought Lot into the house with them, and closed the door. And they struck the men who were at the door of the house with blindness, from the youngest even to the greatest, so that they were tired in finding the door. Genesis 19 verses 10 and 11. Heavenly intervention proves crucial, opening the way for escape amid the darkness that envelopes Sodom. However, even in the face of imminent destruction, Lot, perhaps influenced by emotional ties to the city, hesitates to leave Sodom behind. Lot's heart is divided between the past and the future. This is a crucial choice, as Lot's hesitation could have irreversible consequences on his journey to safety. And at dawn the angels pressed Lot, saying, "Arise, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, lest you perish in the injustice of this city." Genesis 19 verse 15. At this decisive moment, God instructs Lot with a clear warning: do not look back. The divine order is clear, a condition for imminent salvation. The challenge is clear: Lot must completely abandon the past, without looking back, while the cities are about to face divine wrath. As destruction unleashes upon Sodom, Lot's obedience is tested. However, a fatal act of disobedience happens when his wife, unable to resist her curiosity, looks back. Hurry, escape there, because I can't do anything until you get there. That's why the name of the city was called Zor. The sun came out over the earth when Lot entered Zor. Then the Lord rained sulfur and fire from the Lord from heaven on Sodom and Gomorrah. And he destroyed those cities, and all that plain, and all the inhabitants of those cities, and that which grew out of the land. And Lot's wife looked back and was turned into a pillar of salt. Genesis 19 verses 22 to 26. Lot's wife's disobedience has tragic consequences, illustrating the importance of following divine instructions without hesitation. In this dark moment, we witness the escape of Lot and his family, marked by divine intervention, human hesitation, and the tragic disobedience that will seal the fate of Sodom. The journey of Abraham, Lot, and the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Every step, every choice, left an indelible mark on the history of this timeless narrative. From Abraham, the man of unshakable faith, to Lot, facing the trials of a corrupt city, each character played a vital role in this narrative full of challenges and dilemmas. This isn't just an old tale, it is a profound reflection of universal themes that resonate across the centuries. Abraham's faith, tested and strengthened. Obedience to divine instructions is a constant test. And divine justice, which manifests itself in the protection of the righteous. At the heart of this story is the undeniable reality of the consequences of disobedience. The tragedy that befalls Sodom is a grim reminder of how human choices, when at odds with divine laws, can lead to a tragic fate. However, this story rich in meanings does not end here. It continues in the interpretations and discussions of each of you. I invite you to share your own interpretations of this ancient story. In the comments, may this story resonate and inspire new reflections. Let this narrative be more than ancient history. May it be an invitation to spiritual exploration, a call to deep reflection on our own journeys of faith, obedience, and justice. Each of us is on our own journey, and may we find inspiration in the lessons of this story to light our path forward. With gratitude and deep reflections, we say goodbye to this timeless narrative. May the lessons of Abraham, Lot, Sodom, and Gomorrah echo in our hearts, guiding us at the crossroads of our own journey. Until the next story that awaits us on the pages of faith and humanity, may divine light illuminate our paths. See you later.